Okay, so this week we're moving on to trigonometry for non-right triangles. We have a couple laws we're going to learn this week. So today we're going to learn about when we use the sine law. So the sine law, sorry, there should be an E in there, S-I-N-E, should be for non-right triangles, or what we call oblique triangles, so triangles that don't have a 90-degree angle. And you need to be given at least one pair of information. So either an angle and its side across from it, and then one other thing. So the sine law comes looking like two different ways. We have one way where we have sides on top. So remember, little letters represent the sides. Or we have angles, one for angles where angles are on top. So remember, the uppercase letters represent the angles. So we have two different ways of doing it. Just one is like literally the reciprocal, the flip over of the other. Okay, so our first question here, we're asked to find the indicated length or angle in the following triangles. So the first one we have is an angle X. So that when I say I have a pair of sides, I'm just going to label my corners here. So let's say I have A, B at the top, and C over here. Then I have a pair of sides. I have angle A and its side across from it. So I have angle A and the side across from it. So I can use that pair of information, and then I have one other angle and I'm looking for its corresponding side. So when we use the sine law, we only need to use any two of these ratios at a time. So I have angle A and the side across from it, and I also have angle C and I'm looking for the side across from it. So I'm going to write this as A over sine A. We don't need to have all three, equals C over sine C. Okay, so I only need any pair at any given time. We don't need to use all three. So I'm going to plug in here what we know. So I know side A is 5.6 and angle A is 127 degrees. I have side C, we're going to call X, that's what we're looking for. You can leave it as a C if you want. And then over sine, angle C is 26. Okay, remember angles always belong with a sine, cos, or tan, okay? They don't just hang out by themselves. So you'll never put an angle on top or bottom by itself without a sine, cos, or a tan. And in this case, it's sine law, so it's going to be sine. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in here, sine law. Okay, so just like before, we want to solve for x. So we're going to bring this forward here. To get x by itself, we're going to multiply the sine 26 up to the other side of the equal sign. So we have 5.6 times the sine of angle 26 over sine 127. So on your calculator, you're going to have a little more calculation to do. So of course, start on the top as well. You're going to start with if you're using your calculator on your phone, make sure, of course, you're in degrees. You're going to start with your angle and then hit sine and then times 5.6, then divide by the angle, sine, and then hit equals. Okay, so you need to do all that first. If you have your calculator at home and you have a two-line display, meaning you can type things in and you see exactly what you're typing, type it exactly as you see it. Start with 5.6 times sine 26 equals, then divide by sine 127 and hit equals again. Okay, so we're just going to get that calculation here. Okay. Okay, so for my answer, I got 3.07, so I'm going to say 3.1 for my answer. So there is my side length for the missing side there for side X. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. This time we're looking for a missing angle. So if I label my vertices here, let's call the top, we'll call that A, we'll go B over here, and we'll say C at the side. So if I take a look, this time I have angle C, and I have the side across from it. So I have angle C here, which is 29, and I have the side across from it. So I have a pair angle with side, so I'm going to use sine C, and then I'm looking for angle B, and I have the side across from it. So when we go to write that in, we're going to use C's and B's this time. So we'll start with, and since we're looking for an angle, we need angles on top. So sine B over B and sine C over C. Now it doesn't have to be in any sort of order. You could have done the C's equal to the B's. That would have been fine as well. Just like on the one above it, I had the stuff on the right already given and the stuff on the left I was looking for. Or sorry, opposite. Stuff on the left already given, stuff on the right I was looking for. This time it's stuff on the left that I'm looking for. So when we plug this in, we have sine. Angle B is what we're looking for, so I'm going to leave it as a B. And side B is the 2.5. We have sine. Angle C is 29. And side C is the one in the side there, the 2.1. So just like before, we want to solve for angle B, which is right up top here. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit. Okay, so we have sine B up top. Okay, to get sine B by itself, remember we have to multiply the 2.5 up to the top on the opposite side. So we'll have 2.5 times the sine of 29 over 2.1. And then go ahead and calculate that. Okay, and you should get a long decimal, and we don't want to write that long decimal because remember what that equals. That is equal to the sine of B, and I don't want sine B, I want just B. So how would we get just the angle if we had a decimal value or a fraction? We would take the sine inverse. So on your calculator, you're going to do the second sine of what's on the screen. And I end up with an angle of 35 degrees. So make sure that's what you have as well. Okay, so that's what we get at the bottom there. So remember, if you get a decimal place, that's not the angle. We don't want an angle that's going to be less than 1 degree. That's really teeny tiny. Doesn't really make sense with the size of the triangle that we are given here. Okay, so take a look at that. So that's what you're aiming for there. So that's how sine law works with finding a side and finding an angle. If we come over here, then we're going to solve each triangle, and we're going to do that using our sine law. So first triangle here, it says KLM. We have an angle of 100 degrees. We have another angle of 35 and a side length of M. None of these need to be to scale at all. I just know that 100 degrees is going to be bigger than 90. So there's my bigger angle there, and then I'll connect the dots. I know that that has to be angle K. So I'm going to put my 100 right there. Then I'm going to put L and M in the other corners, and I'm going to put in my other angle of 35 degrees right in here. Okay, then we know that side M is 64 millimeters. So I'm going to write that in here. Side M, remember, has to be directly across from angle M. So 64 right in there. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have and what we need. So we'll make our list. So we need to find angle M. Okay, we need to find side K, and we need to find side L. So first things first, let's find angle M, since that's going to be the easier one to find because we can just take our 180 that our angles have to add up to and subtract. So angle M is equal to 180. Subtract the 100 that we were given and subtract the 35 that we were also given. And angle M comes out to be 45 degrees. So there's my first thing off the list. Next, I'm looking for side M or side L. You decide. So in order to use sine law, remember, we need to have a pair. So we now have angle M and the side across from it. So we have angle M and the side across from it. So there's our pair. And if we want to find, let's say side K first, then we would use the one with the K's on top. So let's do that. So we'll do K over sine K is equal to little m over the sine of big M. So if the angles are on the bottom, then it has to be on both sides. Okay, so let's plug in here. So sine k is 100. Little m, we have over here 6.4, and sine of big M, which is 45. Okay, so when we go to solve that and rearrange, we're going to multiply the sine 100 to the top on the other side. And let's do that over here. I have k equals 6.4 times the sine of 100 over the sine of 45. So go ahead and plug that into your calculator. And I have 8.9 for that angle. Okay, so far we have our angle, we have one of our sides, and we need our third side. So remember, this is not a right triangle, so to find our third side, we can't use Pythagorean theorem. We can only do that with a 90-degree angle there. So to find our third side, we're going to have to use our sine law again. So our third side, the one that's missing down here, is side L. So we're going to have, I'm just going to go underneath here. We have L over the sine of L. And we can either use the K's or the M's. It's up to you. We have all of them now. So I'm going to use my M's because they're already given to me. So M over sine M. So I have sine, angle L is the 35 at the top there. Side M we were given as 6.4, and sine angle M was 45. Okay, so again, go ahead and solve for side L. We're going to multiply that up to the top. And I have 5.19, so I'm going to round it to 5.2. So there's my third side. Okay, so that's how we use sine law to solve our triangle. The next one that we do has one angle and two sides. I'll do that right after this. I'm just going to have to erase what's there, so have a good look, because otherwise I'll run out of space. So go ahead and get your triangle set up, and I'll resume in 1 second. Okay, so here's my triangle all set up. I'm given angle x at 121 degrees, and the side across from it, side x, is 8. I have my side of y, but no angle for y, and no angle for z, and no side for z. So let's find one of our angles first. We have angle y would be, I think, our best choice. So we're going to find angle y. I'll just zoom in here. Angle y. We're going to use our sine law, so sine y over little y, and we have our pair of x's, so we have sine x over little x. And when I go and plug in what I know, I'm looking for y, my little y is 4.7. I have sine, angle x is 121 over little x, which is 8. When I rearrange and solve for sine y, I have 4.7 times sine 121 over 8. Remember, you want to do the sine inverse on that decimal that you're about to get and then round it to 1 decimal place, or the nearest degree. I have 30 degrees for mine. So there's my first angle y we found. We can find angle z quite easily right below here. So we now have one of our angles was 121. We just found a second one at 30 degrees, and we're going to just subtract those to get the third one. And I have 29 degrees here. So there's my second angle, and now we just need side z. Okay, to get side z, I'm going to have to squeeze it in here. So I have z over sine z, and I'm going to use x over the sine of x. And to get z, we're going to go sine, angle z we just found was 29. And we have x was 8 over sine 121. And then to solve for z, go ahead and plug that in. Remember, you have to multiply sine 29 to the top. And I have 4.5. So 4.5 for our last side. Okay, so that is sine law, so have a good look there. If you need help, make sure you send me some messages, and there are some practice questions included with this post. Okay, we'll do cosine law probably on Friday. Take care.